Happy birthday, beautiful Zambia. My name is Evans Lukomona, CEO, founder, and president of CDT Group. CDT Group is composed of Central Hamburg University, Diverse Learning Institute, and Twikatane EV, or charity in English, all founded and planted in Germany and working in Zambia, Kenya, Congo DR, and of course in other parts of Africa. Our main mission is to alleviate poverty, in Africa and other underdeveloped countries through affordable and meaningful education. Of course, our motto is serving the needy and the vulnerable with empathy and passion. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a politician. I'm not here to politic, but to discuss or talk about our just attained 58th birthday of our mother country called Zambia, which is located in the central and southern part of Africa. Happy birthday, Zambia. And congratulations, Mwakula wa Zambia. 58 years is not that little. But, ladies and gentlemen, what is the meaning of independence? This is my basic definition of independence as a nation. One, freedom from colonial rule or masters, which we attained through His Excellency, the late Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, or KK. May his soul rest in peace. It was in 1964. Now, when we got our independence, of course, we became free. We started ruling ourselves, which simply means that one of the best characteristics of attaining independence, we started controlling our own economies and social affairs. Okay, though, of course, we continued collaborating or working together with our colonial masters, as it were. Now, my main concern, ladies and gentlemen, today is that when we attained independence, of course, then I was not born. Okay, then I was not born. That was in 1964. From 1964 to about 1982, then I was, a young boy or a young man. If you go mathematically, we're talking about 40 years between 1964 to 1982, or between 1964 and 1982, Zambia really enjoyed the fruits of being independent. What do I mean by enjoying the fruits of being independent? There was no levels of poverty that we're seeing now. There was no the kind of corruption that we've been seeing along the years. But why? Because the leadership then attested to one thing: serving the nation from the heart. I saw it when I was growing up, and I felt it when I was growing up. Now, these were best years, the 40 years, I would call them the 4 decades, 64 to 1982. Some of you youths, you were not even born then. Zambia was a great country to live in. I remember my papa telling me that, Sonny, at one point, even the US dollar was underneath the Zambian currency, but we could match with the British pound, which entails that time, nobody would even, like myself, based in Germany here, would say, wow, I'm gonna go for greener pastures to Germany, the US, Canada, Australia, Japan, mention any other countries, because what happened in those advanced countries happened in Zambia in terms of food security. There was food security, free education, and other social amenities that a country is supposed to have, and which we are lacking today. Those 40 years, I would call them were the golden 40 years. Thereafter, 1983, yes, I was still a young boy. I was in secondary school, saw the economy of Zambia really going down. the drain. 84, 85, 86, some of those who can remember, there were massive riots in Zambia. Why? Because things just went totally wrong. And thank God, later on, in due course, in 1991, we ushered in a new government, which was then called and still called, it exists in opposition, the Multi-Party for Democracy, MMD, Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, which was led by the late His Excellency Frederick Chiluba. Of course, they brought up great policies to free Zambia again from its economic doldrums, the poverty levels that we went through, before they came into power. We could, those last years of His Excellency Kenneth Kaunda, we couldn't find bread easily, sugar, or these commodities were so hard to come by. But we had all the hope in the MMD team, which was led by the late President Frederick Chiluba. He came into power in 1991. Now, I call these years from 1991 to about 2022 today, because still things are being fixed. These 30 years, if you go through mathematics, 2022 minus 1991, we are getting the 3 decades of hardships. That's too much for a nation. 2 decades of hardship. Some of you who are in the 20s, you haven't even tested the greatness in terms of good economies of Zambia through these 3 decades. Now, what happened between 1991 to date? The genesis, where it's all starting from, was that we sold out, they sold out, those who were in power at that time, the heart of the nation. And the heart of the nation was the copper belt, where we had the ZCCM, Zambia Consolidated Copper Mines. First, sometimes second largest producer of copper globally, worldwide, all over the world. Those mines were sold. And for me, I define that as selling Zambia to the wind. Because through the copper mines, that's where we attained those days during Kenneth Kaunda's era. Free education, free social amenities, and laws I can't even count. We are living in paradise that time, but today not. Now, these 30 years of impoverishment, I may call it, where the vulnerable and the needy have been pushed into the corners of Zambia, away from enjoying their country. This is where I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, the leadership of Zambia, let's buy back our country. The 30 years of torment, I call them. I know what it means. I live in Germany since 15 years now. Having a tour at Zambia, after a long absence, what I found there with my team, it wasn't all that good to look at in 2019, through even up to date. Thank God, the new Dawn government, the UPND, they're trying to do all they could to mend up the economies, which were destroyed throughout the 31 years. Look at this. I'm holding 2 flags. This is my beautiful country, Zambia. And the other flag here, this is my second country, I would say, because I live here, Germany or Deutschland. If we look at the surface area, land-wise, of Germany as compared to Zambia, Germany goes into Zambia almost 3 times as much. And yet the population of Germany is now about, 90 million Anivona or people compared to Zambia, which is around 20 million. But like I've always said to my brothers and sisters out there in Zambia, we don't talk about food here. There's food security and everything. What's gone wrong? Germany has got no copper, has got no gold, which has been discovered in Zambia recently, has got no emeralds, which we've got, has got no such precious stones that I can mention even here. Some I don't even know that we have in Zambia. And yet, would be there, even looking towards Deutschland or Germany to help Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, this independence, let us not just continue celebrating, partying, drinking, eating. No, we've got to go deep down the roots, the causes of why Zambia, my beautiful country, is going through such kind of economic turmoils. Lots of youths are crying today. Of course, like I've said, the UPND is fixing stuff, but there are certain corners that I've also researched that aren't being handled so well by certain, officers. Please, the leadership, the ministers of Zambia, you on a track, manning up the country, but get back to your people. Get back to your people. That's very important. Leading a country means you are responsible for your people, the constituencies, the districts, the provincials. Get back to them. Listen to their cries. In Bemba, there's a say that the youths are your children, the leadership. The old are your children. The widows are your children. The single mothers are your children. If these people cry before God, do not despise them. Get back to them. Just the same way you used to get back to them when you are doing the campaigns. Let us move away from that notion, which started in 1991 when the MMD came into power. Ministers distancing themselves. Not all of them, of course, there were some who could get back to their people. During those years, I still remember I was a boy. During the first 40 years, I lived some between 1964 and 1982. We could see Wagre Zulu coming Makomboni in shanty compounds. We could see ministers dining with the poor, with the needy. We could see how they embraced the vulnerable and the needy. Are you doing the same, our dear current ministers, office bearers? Are you doing the same? There's more to the reason why this country here, Germany, is doing great. Not because it's rich. I know some of you are going to be saying no, because you are in Europe. Okay? And these are advanced. They are advanced because of one purpose. Germany is a country here. You want to read history, which is coming from the First World War, Second World War. This country was reduced to robots, was totally finished. It was null. We call it null in German, zero. But it rose up because the then now founding fathers said, enough is enough. Our people have suffered. We've suffered. Let us build a country using a heart, love, that is not going to see us looking back and going back to suffer again. And today, Germany is one of the top 4 or 5 countries in the world. Zambia, we've never gone through such kind of problems. We've never gone through such wars like any other countries. We've been a peaceful country. Why can't we lead ourselves? Why can't we take hold of our copper, our emeralds, our gold, diamonds, and other precious stones, plus the fertile lands that we have? to feed ourselves. Something is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Something is wrong. The leadership, please, as far as I'm concerned, the ministers, the directorate, the PSs, civil servants, we've got a great leader. We've got a great leader who is focused in the name of His Excellency, Hakainde Hichilema, HH. I'm not promoting him because we've seen the trend that is come with, but he can't do stuff alone. You've got to support him, work according to instructions. I'm not here to politic, but to talk on behalf of the Zambians, because I spend almost every day more than 20 hours, sometimes 24 hours, working on projects just to benefit my beautiful country of Zambia. We cannot continue to see what we are seeing. The vulnerable continuing to be vulnerable, the needy continuing to be the needy. No, they are deliberate policies that we've got to inculcate on, which we can bring back and put Zambia back onto the world map of a stronger economy than it is. Therefore, as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bore you. This program is going to be continuing through Twikatane NGO or charity, where we are going to be having discussions based on buying back our beautiful country of Zambia. We're a good people, a good heart, a good everything, sympathetic, passion. We loved everywhere, in Germany, in the US, wherever we go. These are Zambians. But let that love be defined from the table, meaning that let every family from grassroots, middle class, I don't worry about the rich, they can afford. Let all these put food on their table. Zambia is a country whereby even a person who is unemployed, he's got no job, can go through what goes on here in Germany, a social help aspect. You're going to be getting a salary until you get a job. It's been happening in Botswana. Botswana is in Africa. Why can't it happen in Zambia? Ladies and gentlemen, once more, let's buy back our beautiful country of Zambia. Henceforth, you're going to be hearing my voice so often. My passion is to serve and serve the needy and the vulnerable. I was born just like that. And one thing I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, Zambians, in this case, in and out, throughout these decades, okay, of changing the leadership, directorate, presidency, the ministers, councillors, and staff, the cry has been the same. The tune doesn't change. And that tune is, when you are looking for the vote, we are friends. You come to us. You visit us frequently. When you win, okay, you're a councillor now, you are MP, anything, you run away. But the same person is going to come back after 5 years. And you aren't going to chase him because he's going to bring some arms, sugar, fitenges, and everything. Again, you're going to give that person a vote. No, change the mindset as well as Zambians. Change the mindset. Look for leaders that are going to give you long-term solutions. Long-term solutions. Mr. Lukomona, how can we figure out that this person is going to give us a long-term solution? It is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Zambians, the way I know Zambians, is that we are carried away by emotions. Somebody comes, speaks powerful speeches, oh, you can rule the country. No, it's not by the word of mouth, but check their deeds previously in terms of helping out. The Bible says, he who cannot be trusted on little things cannot be trusted on bigger things. Simple saying. This is a simple saying. Meaning, if that person you want to put in leadership at any level of the land, that person has never helped any of his relatives, any of his neighbors, any of anybody. I'm not talking about millions or thousands. Check that person. If he has never done that to those around him, how can he come and help you whom he doesn't know? The equation doesn't work. If Mr. Lukomona says, hey, I want to be MP of Chimwemwe, where I was born. Come on, don't just say, hey, Mr. Lukomona is coming from Germany. He lives in Germany. We're going to vote for him. No. Let Mr. Lukomona come in front of you and make a manifesto and ask him, sir, tell us where you're coming from, where you were born, what have you done? You don't have to be a businessman to be helpful. You can even help by word of mouth, encouraging others. That is a heart. If Mr. Lukomona doesn't show that in his background, come on, take another person. That's why we miss it as Zambians. As Zambians, we are hoodwinked by uvunga, bags of mealie meal, chickens, ifitenge, and stuff. We aren't going to build a greater Zambia, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to build a greater Zambia. Check the leadership that is coming before you at any level. If she has done stuff before, you're going to trust. There's a saying, wakalema takaleka. There's utulema tubiri. Positive akalema, negative akalema. You get a point? So choose the positive akalema and shape that person to do good for our mother Zambia at any level of leadership. I'm not being specific. Leadership is leadership. Check the background. I'm not politicking, but because politics rule any nation, therefore, most of the problems we encounter in nations like Zambia are synthesized. They are built up by the politicians. Politicians, before you became a politician, you were like me and James and Jane, Mulenga and them. What changed? You had good ideas. Continue. Let's have a heart to serve. Let's have a heart to serve. What I've seen in Germany here and other European countries, even European countries from the East, whose economies are worse than Zambia up to now, cross over there, you're going to be shocked. Water available, toiletry available, school system available for anybody. We can't continue like that, to be moving with begging hands. After 58 years of independence, no. Mr. Lukomona says no. Let's build Zambia together. Mwemi Sepela youths, change the mindset. You are great. You have fought hard for your country. Don't continue crying. Let's get involved. And let's buy back our beautiful Zambia. Well respected. As I conclude, just across here, there's a copper. I think I should be the best refinery company for copper in the entire Europe. One time it was written, our copper for you. In Hamburg here, I almost shed tears. I almost shed tears. The same copper coming from Zambia has got no effect on our soils, but it's got great effect and impact on the soils of Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, enough is enough. We've suffered a lot. 30 years, 3 decades of suffering can be changed within a flash of light, only if we do God's will. And that God's will is to pour a heart to the populace, to the people. Evans Lukomona here, winding up, representing my beautiful country, Zambia. Of course, Germany being my second home and taking what is beautiful from Germany back home to Zambia. As I conclude, you've got brothers and sisters, nephews, nieces that never went to school in Zambia because of school fees in the universities in Zambia and stuff. We are here. We've been offering free education from tertiary level and upwards. Free bachelors, free skills, and so on and so forth. Get in touch. I'm not here to advertise, but this is one of the ways of portraying that we believe in our independence. Because independence simply means let every person afford. Today, those who couldn't go to school, they are affording now to go to school, to join our organization, Central Hamburg University, the Best Learning Institute, and Twikatane Charity or NGO. I love you all. Let us buy back our Zambia. We've seen for so many decades, between 1991 and 2002, our land, our country being taken over by the foreigners. It is good to have investors, but on what terms? On what terms are we shaking hands with these investors? Very important. Not whereby the investors are taking 99.6% or 0.4%. Zambia is remaining with 0.06%. No, not even 10% to remain in Zambia is going to be enough. Not even 15%, not even 20%, not even 30% to remain in Zambia. There's what is called national treasures. Hey, come on, I always make this job. Here, I'm in Germany. So on record, Lois. I mean, I wasn't booked. When I came here 15 years ago, I love flowers. I just went to a nearby my apartment here. Across there's a park with a shovel, taking some soils. Ilova, we call it in Bemba. Hey, come on, they visited me. What were you doing? Oh, today's a weekend, just taking. No. You've got to go to the supermarket to buy Ilova, to buy the soils. Now, if people here could be particular about buying, about not to misuse the soils, what about if Mr. Lukomona found copper or emeralds or diamonds in a certain area in Germany? Do you think Mr. Lukomona would go to the business offices to register, say, hey, this is my mine? And Germany, you are going to get 0.5%, or you are going to take 1% or 2%. No, two ways. Germans realize what it means to have national treasures. They realize. Do we realize? Only God knows. Let's change. Let's empower our beautiful Zambian youths, the adults, the needy. Let them get involved. We are just too rich. I can go on and on and on and on. I say, Mabomediwa Zambia, well done. 58 years is not a joke. I know by the time we are attaining 60th birthday in 2 years' time, Zambia shall never be the same. The vulnerable, the poor are going to not belong into such categories. We are going to wipe away such terminologies as needy, vulnerable. No, enough is enough. That's our beautiful Zambia. We can be in Germany. We can be in the US. We can be in Australia, Japan. We can eat well. We can dress well in diaspora. But we got to buy back our beautiful Zambia. Evans Lukomona, CEO, President and founder of CDT Group, Central Hamburg University, the Best Learning Institute, and Twikatane EV NGO or charity, grounded in Germany, the cities of Hamburg and Elmshorn, as well in Zambia and other parts of Africa. Let's buy back Zambia. I love you. Keep watching this channel for more programs that are going to discuss how we can deliver our beautiful nation of Zambia. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you all.